Hello, everyone. Welcome to TLC's Sister Wives Secret. My name is Olivia. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Janelle Brown from Sister Wives is now enjoying a peaceful and stress free life after going through years of financial struggle. She spent 3 decades with her ex husband, Kody Brown, living alongside his other former wives, Robin, Christine, and Mary Brown. Even though a good mother to Kody and having given birth to 6 kids with him, Janelle was never valued and always overlooked for all her sacrifices. As retaliation, Kody would always put her down and even went the length of accusing her of infidelity. Things got worse in 2021, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Kody placed stringent rules on Janelle and her children. Janelle later came to an understanding, just like her sister wife Christine, that the time had come to depart from Kody. She began making future arrangements and, though not rich, began house hunting. By 2022, Janelle legally annulled her spiritual marriage to Kody and began a new life. She bought a piece of land in North Carolina, close to her married daughter's house, and in 2024 left Flagstaff, Arizona for good. Determined to make more money and live more quietly, Janelle also began a number of new business enterprises. She sold Coyote Pass, a piece of land she had bought years earlier, for a nice profit. In 2018, Janelle, Kody, Mary, and Christine paid a lot to purchase the 14-acre Coyote Pass land, with the aspirations of one day building a shared family community. When Christine, Janelle, and eventually Mary all cut things off with Kody, that dream ended. Although at first Kody did not want to, he eventually consented to selling the land in 2025. Janelle received $35,000, over twice what she had originally put down. Now in 2025, Janelle is far better off financially. She's preparing to construct her dream home in North Carolina and hopes to move in prior to the holidays. Even though she never was homeless, Janelle did find herself living in various rental houses and even an RV for a period of time. She had numerous setbacks that hindered her from constructing her own home. Luckily, those days are in her past. Janelle now owns a large piece of land and is turning her latest endeavor, constructing her home, a peaceful sanctuary. In April, when she announced that the house was in production, she surprised fans by informing them, "My home is slowly coming to fruition." Janelle has every right to be grateful. She's going cautiously to avoid negative relationships and can't help but feel proud of what she's achieved recently. Her success has boosted her confidence and given her the freedom to live life on her own terms. Janelle is braver than ever today. Earlier in 2025, she had asserted that she wished to eliminate all sorts of negativity and negative people from her life. So far, she's been doing a great job maintaining her peace. I do hope she continues to reach her targets and live a happy life. By surviving through financial struggles and establishing businesses like Tata Farms and her t-shirt venture, Janelle has become a source of inspiration. One of the most recognizable sister wives, Janelle is showing the world that no matter what life dishes out, determination and grit can get you exactly where you need to go. Janelle Brown, longtime fan favorite among viewers for her level-headedness and no-nonsense demeanor, is once again showing us that success is really all about determination and grit. Through remarkable personal evolution and growth, she's showing us that reinvention is an option at any age. Having survived significant changes in her family life and bravely venturing into independence, Janelle has now directed her attention towards something very personal: developing Tata Farms, a loving business she's building with her daughter. Despite the challenges, however, Janelle's spirit remains unbroken. Bureaucratic hurdles and delays in construction have tested her patience, but they've also led her to an unexpected place of strength and joy, the very earth she stands on. Rather than letting paperwork and slow approvals bring her down, Janelle has put all her energy into something symbolic and therapeutic, transforming her backyard into a garden. She now says it's the best exercise she's ever had. Janelle's story is not one of farming alone. It's a paean to embracing life's changing seasons. Through adversity, she's learned strength in simplicity. As development on Tata Farms continued at a glacial pace, Janelle decided not to sit idle. She's never been the type of person to just wait around and has found genuine pleasure in the small, tangible successes of hands-on achievement. She recently provided a glimpse of her life with fans, showing her new pastime of gardening. What began as a simple way to occupy herself during permit holdups soon became a fulfilling and enjoyable activity. Nurturing seedlings, coddling her plants, along and redesigning her backyard haven haven't just occupied her time, they've been a balm to her emotions. Where others may see delays as a hindrance, Janelle has leveraged them to dig deeper roots into the life she's intentionally crafting. From digging to planting and weeding, every process has been more therapeutic than she anticipated. She openly reflected, there's something about getting the dirt in your hands that makes you remember your own ability to grow, even when everything else in your life feels stagnant. Though Tata Farms is currently a deferred dream, it is not forgotten. Janelle and her daughter remain resolute in bringing their shared dream to fruition, a dream of sustainability and reunification with nature. Developing a farm from the ground up doesn't just happen overnight. Janelle has admitted that she and her daughter have felt the frustration and uncertainty that comes with slow permits and government red tape. However, instead of letting the process get her down, she's taken this time to sharpen her plans and learn everything she can. From understanding irrigation systems to mastering soil composition, Janelle is ensuring that both she and her daughter are fully prepared mentally, emotionally, and practically for when they finally break ground. We didn't expect it to take this long, Janelle confessed, but life moves in seasons. Sometimes you've just got to trust the process, even when it feels like you're standing still. Trading cultivated charm for chickens. Janelle's initial dreams of chickens symbolized a big leap in her personal development. First, she envisioned a cheerful backyard, filled with the soft clucks and flapping of chickens, supplying her family with fresh eggs every day. Later, though, she understood that setting up a chicken coop might not be the most practical choice given her current lifestyle. As the zoning restrictions and limitations of her North Carolina property became more obvious, Janelle embraced the opportunity to garden full time instead of bemoaning the impossibility of achieving that lesser goal. Her choice to redirect her energy exemplifies her amazing flexibility. Where disappointment might have been previously, now there was excitement. She smiled and shared, "My backyard is now my own little paradise." There's nothing like going outside, looking at rows of vegetables growing, and thinking, I did that. Growth and flexibility, the heart of Janelle's experience. Janelle's strongest abilities have always included being flexible and letting go of rigid expectations. Throughout her life in a plural marriage, she was usually the one who was most capable of rolling with life's unpredictabilities. That very strength is working in her favor more than ever now as she carves her own way. When life diverges from the path, Janelle's flexibility allows her to continue crafting a life that's truly her own. Rather than clinging to outdated plans or resisting change, she welcomes every curve and turn as a step in the direction of genuine joy and fulfillment. As she reflected backward, life doesn't always go exactly as we plan, but if you stay open, you might just fall into something better than you imagined. Maintaining her backyard has created a restored sense of purpose for Janelle. It's also reminded her that more often than not, the best growth is experienced when we least expect it. Finding comfort in the soil. While it appears simple on the surface, gardening has brought profound emotional rewards for Janelle. Every weed yanked is a small victory against disorder, and every seed sown a soft avowal of optimism. Whether on Sister Wives, Janelle's narrative once was one of perpetual compromise and sacrificing aspects of herself. Now she's writing another chapter, one about reclaiming her time, energy, and aspirations. On her knees in the dirt and yanking life from the ground, she recently shared with followers, "I love how dirty my hands get." In the same interview, she went on, "It's like the more dirt under my nails, the more I feel rooted in something good and real." She emphasized that there aren't many things that offer the same emotional grounding as getting one's hands in the earth. For Janelle, gardening is not simply an issue of growing food. It's an issue of growing patience, nurturing hope, and recovering a sense of belonging. A fresh life, one plant at a time. Each new addition to her backyard is more than a potential yield. It's a fresh start. Flowers, herbs, or vegetables, each plant is chosen purposefully and nurtured, reflecting the life Janelle is purposefully creating for herself, separate from the darkness of her past. Her property has become a living metaphor for her transformation. Even though the path to opening Tata Farms is uncertain, every mindful morning of watering or pruning brings her back to the fact that the worthwhile things take time and commitment. Janelle suggested, there's peace in this kind of hard work. It reminds you that you're stronger than the obstacles in front of you. A hopeful heart looking ahead. Despite the setbacks she's faced, Janelle continues to be hopeful about the future. Steadfast and forward facing. Janelle remains committed to the vision she shares with her daughter, still constructing the foundations, physical and otherwise, for a sustainable and communal life. With each passing season and each inch of her expanding garden, she feels her sense of possibility grow. She speaks with subdued confidence, knowing that once the bureaucratic setbacks are cleared away, her vision will become reality. With unwavering confidence, she stated, I believe in Tata Farms with every fiber of my being. Even if it doesn't happen as quickly as I hoped, I'm still living a beautiful life in the process. The lesson here is one of strength, adaptability, and trust in the process. Janelle Brown's story is not simply one of planting seeds or being healthy. It's an image of persistence in a world that generally prizes immediate outcomes and fast solutions. Anyone who wants to live an authentic life can be inspired by her ability to embrace change, pivot when the time comes, and find unexpected beauty in the process. Whether she's pruning a tomato plant, weeding, or simply standing barefoot in her yard, Janelle shows that growth doesn't always move in a straight line. Other times, it's discovered in the decision to get your hands dirty and tend to the now while building toward a greater tomorrow. With each dawn that brings light to her expanding garden, Janelle Brown, a woman who used to exist inside a very complicated family dynamic, steps nearer to her own power. A life reclaimed. These days, she's enjoying a life distinguished by clarity, abundance, and purpose. After decades of financial struggle and emotional distress, she's left behind a reality governed by shared husbands, group pressure, and religious rules that dictated every move. Choosing to leave behind a life that no longer nourished her soul, Janelle is now embracing independence in a new, liberating chapter of life. She was part of a plural family, one husband, three sister wives, a home regularly led by a leadership style rooted more in control than in collaboration. She bore six children in this communal family, where emotional balance was occasionally in limited supply. Despite her unwavering devotion to family and motherhood, Janelle frequently felt overlooked and underappreciated. The man who had once been her spiritual companion habitually dismissed her contribution and ignored her views. Rather than receiving support, she was habitually met with emotional detachment and judgment, especially in matters of parenting and family decisions. The stress only intensified with the worldwide pandemic. Under the guise of safety and control, her partner imposed severe restrictions on her and her children, isolating them from the rest of the family. This was not just a physical distance. A much more profound emotional and spiritual chasm became absolute. The moment of shift. During this excruciating stretch of time, Janelle began to reconsider her own needs and desires. Encouraged by another woman who had already left the same marriage pattern, she began to position herself for departure. Not wishing to remain in a relationship that had dimmed her inner light, Janelle began to search for new accommodation and quietly prepare her next move. A life rebuilt, a future reimagined. Janelle began to remove herself from the environment that had drained her spirit for so many years. Though her financial foundation wasn't fully in place at that time, she took the brave step of ending her spiritual marriage the following year. Despite the uncertainty, she was driven by hope, the prospect of a healthier, more self-determined future. Her determination fueled a fresh beginning in an entirely new part of the country. She moved to a lush, green area on the East Coast, where one of her daughters had already settled through marriage. The transition wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. It was a confirmation of self-worth on the deepest level and a clean break with limitation. A world away from the desolate deserts that had long been her home, Janelle purchased her own parcel of land, wooded and bursting with promise. Her economic independence was sealed when a long-disputed family property finally changed hands. The land, once bought with naive dreams of harmony and unity, had, over the years, become synonymous with broken promises and emotional gridlock. Years after holding out for justice and acknowledgement, the sale went through. Janelle earned a substantial return, much greater than her initial investment, providing the stability that had eluded her for so long. No longer forced to depend on temporary housing or improvised living arrangements, she was able to create a home that accurately represented her values. No longer burdened by leasing temporary space or braving weather in a mobile home, she now stands on land that is hers. Uncertainty has been replaced by blueprints, and contractor visits have replaced contingency plans. Every wall built and foundation poured is a testament to her will. She recently shared her excitement with followers as her home began to take shape. Obviously shaken, she told of the process as much a healing as construction, a culmination of all the years of sacrifice, contemplation, and rebirth. As windows go up and the building grows, her voice is no longer clouded by the burden of an emotionally taxing marriage. Rather, her days are filled now with nourishing her businesses, making her own decisions, and investing in projects that speak to her ideals. Among her greatest accomplishments is Tata Farms, based on sustainability, nutrition, and community. She also operates a successful small clothing line that fosters creative freedom and establishes connection with a loyal following who appreciate her very real authenticity. To those who once had her relegated to the background, Janelle has carved out a presence of her own. She's made it clear her space these days is sacred, awarded to only those who are bringers of encouragement and positivity. Toxicity, past or current, no longer occupies her table. Despite having had her journey marred by challenges, she exits it stronger, more determined, and at peace. She now lives with intention, giving priority to her emotional health, her relationship with her children, and stability in the long run. It's not just a story of surviving adversity, it's a dance of embracing growth in the midst of it. By freeing herself from what no longer served her, she made room for abundance. Her own definition of home has shifted, no longer just walls and ceiling, but a sanctuary built on inner peace and strength. With every morning breaking over her new nation, every box of fresh farm produce, and every supportive note from a devoted patron, a new page is turned. This is not just recovery, it's reinvention. Janelle Brown has recreated her world from the ground up, literally and metaphorically. She is living proof that it's never too late to redefine your narrative. As her dream home approaches its finish line, one thing is sure. The woman who once stood respectfully in the shadow of someone else's spotlight now more fully owns her own. The future is uncertain, but it will not be characterized by compromise. Instead, Janelle's journey is guided by intention, clarity, and braveness. With dreams reaching for the sky and feet planted firmly on the earth, she reminds us of a great truth. Happiness and healing are not only possible, they're worth every step it takes to get there.